What is something other people do that bothers you? Tell me what to do when I'm already doing it. Similarly, I hate being reminded to do something before I have had a chance to do it. I haven't forgotten. Give me a goddamn chance. Oh God, me too. And then you don't feel like doing it anymore because, even though you were going to do it already, now it feels like you're being made to do it by that person. All because they told you. This was my whole childhood. Same here, bud. This was me at the start of quarantine. I was optimistic about jogging every other day to stay fit, but then my parents kept telling me to do some sport every single day, and it soon felt like I was doing it for their sake. So I stubbornly stopped to spite them. 2 months later and I haven't gone on a run until this week because I've gained so much fat I've started to feel bad in my skin. Seriously, they're loving parents, but I can't wait to get away from my helicopter parents someday. This is exactly why I went back to student accommodation, halfway across the country last week. Asking you a yes/no question, then acting offended when you say no. Edit, holy shit, I wasn't expecting to be so relatable. It was awfully confusing that things were yes/no questions as a kid but actually were not. Then later claimed I didn't have to if I didn't want to, but if I complained I didn't want to it was actually mandatory. It made no sense. This becomes a problem raising kids. We get used to politely asking people for things we'd like them to do which would normally receive a positive response. May you pass me the ketchup please? Isn't normally met with resistance, but it's more polite than pass me the ketchup please. Because you're not being demanding. Q raising kids, and at 3 yo it's my darling daughter, would you like to come get dressed so we can go out? No. Shit. We are actually leaving so she doesn't really have a choice, but my dumbass asked and didn't tell. Now she thinks she has a choice in the matter, and it's gonna become a battle. It's an annoying habit to break. I learned that you can still give a choice when it's something that needs done. You offer 2 choices, daughter, would you like get dressed into this yellow outfit or this red one? Then they feel like they have some control over the matter. But either way, they get dressed. It's not 100% but works pretty well most of the time and avoids a lot of battles. But either way, they get dressed. It's not 100% but works pretty well most of the time and avoids a lot of battles. In middle school, this girl asked if I liked her. She was them popular mean people, so she prob meant as a person, I'm a nerd. I said no. She threw a paper ball at me and told the teacher lol. And I'm like, I just answered a yes/no and didn't say anything rude. Oh my gosh, someone did this to me in primary school as a prank. Ha ha ha. She came up to me and said, hey, I don't like you, and I could hear some girls giggling from behind me. All I said was, that's alright Kelly, I never liked you that much either. Cue the surprised Pikachu face as she gets upset and goes, that was meant to be a joke. WTF lol. Great offensive defense. Throw garbage on the street. People who shove plastic bottles in bushes. Yes, I spent all of yesterday picking up garbage on the road. Not using headphones in public. Are you talking about those that jam their music loudly in public? Parents playing videos for their kids in restaurants is a thing too. I don't want to listen to Bob the Builder while I eat sushi. My ex and his friends would play music from their phones while eating out at restaurants. Notice I said ex. I tell people to turn their music off in my store and not once has anyone ever been a dick about it. Has anyone been a honeybee about it? Take pleasure in making someone else feel embarrassed or ashamed. I hate this with a passion too. I don't care if someone makes a boneheaded move, I want to help them fix it or learn better. It seems like it takes a special kind of insecure sadist to mock people for making a mistake. Or when people ask questions that they genuinely want the answer to, and they're made to feel dumb about it. This always astounds me. How does one ever expect anyone to learn? I feel like people forget they once had to be taught as well. God, yes. Cringe videos or comedy don't make me laugh, they make me feel awful for the people involved. That's why I've never been able to enjoy shows like The Office or It's Always Sunny, not saying they're bad, just not my kind of shows. Back when Minecraft was first popular there were so many channels that were just trolling, mainly little kids. Yes, quirks are annoying on the mic, but come on. Even stupid younger me thought it was just being a dick. I really don't understand the comedic value of making someone feel like shit. When people talk obsessively about themselves. Have you ever been trapped in a convo where the person just non-stop talks about themselves? It's not a conversation. It's glorified campaign boost for the other person. I hate that. Or when in a convo with someone, they talk and the minute you say anything, they completely ignore it or find someone else to talk at. Like when they ask you a question, and interrupt your answer to tell you what you were going to say. Assuming they are right without any evidence reason to believe they are right except them being the ones that said it. And then just not listening to any new evidence reasons. Edit, and not be willing to change viewpoints. For real. I've heard people say you can't trust the media. But you also can't trust the government, but also the experts are being paid off, and also everyone on social media is biased. I saw some advice once that when you talk to a conspiracy theorist, you should ask them what proof or evidence they would accept to mean they are wrong, hypothetically. The response is usually pretty telling. Cut people off while driving and fail to use their turning signal. Not only is it dangerous and increases the chance of an accident, but it also requires very little effort to not do. BMW owners. I saw a BMW driver use blinkers yesterday. But the wrong way. They flicked on the right to merge left. Then flick on right to merge left. I was like, WTF. Clearly they didn't want you knowing their next move. Blinker fluid was probably low, so it was faulty. Common problem in some car models. Disrespect things that don't belong to them. We should be trying to leave things better than we found them, but instead people are so self-absorbed. My roommate did this with my car and car stereo. I let him drive once and forbade him from using my car ever again. I would have let him use it when I wasn't using it if he didn't speed, hit the curb, and blow out one speaker. He's a jackass. Yay, my sister-in-law used to use my car for a bit because she was living with me, and one day my aux cord plug-in wouldn't work. She claimed she didn't do anything to it but was last to use the car. I looked at it and the aux cord was broke off into the plug-in and was stuck and couldn't get it out. She still said it must have been her friend that was with her, as if that made a difference. That's only one thing she broke and never replaced. Some people are just selfish assholes. Put things back where they go. Clean things. You got dirty. If you open it, shut it. You turned it on, turn it off. That's all it takes to keep a nice, clean, organized area that everyone can enjoy. This is something I learned later in life. I was raised by parents who gave no fucks about anyone but themselves. They littered, slammed doors, speak very loudly, talked shit about other people, and definitely didn't respect other people or their property. Thankfully, by nature, I'm a very observant person, so a lot of these traits I acknowledged I didn't want and chose not to act that way. But once I found my so, he taught me to take it to a whole other level. If we're walking our dogs and there's someone's personal garbage can out, he won't throw our dog's poop in the can. He'll wait until we're home or there's a public can we can use. The doors in the halls of our apartment slam very loudly, and it doesn't matter how much of a rush he's in, he will take his time to close them softly so they don't make a peep. If he's asked to do something, he takes his time to make sure he does it right the first time. To have found someone who cares about the way they impact others on the littlest levels, I feel so lucky. And because of him I work on being this way too.